Hello everyone, this is my final project for our course. Since I'm very new as a teacher, I choose what I did last semester in the community language program at TC as the content of this project. It was a face-to-face class, but after learning our course, I started to think about how to adapt online teaching concepts to language class. So it is an experiment and hope that's not so bad. Well, please let me give you an overview of the whole course. The course is designed to help intermediate English language learners to develop English listening, speaking, reading, writing, and comprehension skills that are required for everyday life. Using a scene-based teaching approach, students will learn grammar, pronunciation, as well as relevant target language vocabulary to meet daily needs. Each class will be centered on a theme in order to centralize learning and functions associated with each particular topic. Classes are taught in a communicate manner. After successful completion of this course, students will be able to use semi-complex structures and language features to express ideas about related themes. There are 4 modules according to the textbook we use for learners in this proficiency level. Each module will last for 2 weeks. I will mimic the last module, which is talking about something will happen in the future. The theme for the last module is about opportunities, including educational and job opportunities. In this 2-week-long module, I plan to have 2 synchronous meetings supported by Zoom at the end of each week. Based on the content in the textbook, on the first week, I would focus on grammar and vocabulary, which are embedded in reading, listening, and speaking practices. At the end of the first week, students would be able to distinguish 3 future forms and know how to use correct forms to make predictions, both orally and in written forms, through doing some exercises. Besides, they will learn vocabularies related to education stages and the differences between the word job and work. In the second week, they are going to apply all the language features through extensive reading as well as critical thinking assignments. After that, the textbook requires 2 language use sections where students would be able to make or respond to polite requests and write a cover letter. Here, I want to pause a little bit to explain how I divide these 2 sections in this module. Because communicative language teaching emphasizes the coherent improvement of all language skills, the textbook is designed to combine 2 or more skills at one time. So I cannot just set up 4 components regarding reading, writing, listening, and speaking. To fully use of the textbook and to let online language learning make sense, I divide this module into 2 sections. Now I will explain how I would achieve these goals for this module. Because communicative language teaching encourages teachers' implicit instructions, I could not display what students need to learn at the beginning of the class. I will start the module by some lead-in activities related to the theme of this module, such as ask students to post their educational pace in our Facebook group or on our Schoology discussion platform. As for the language features, including grammar point and vocabulary, I will give students a video explaining the specific knowledge after they do the reading. To make sure they fully understand the knowledge, I will assign some mechanical exercises on Quizlet for them to practice. Besides, I will also provide some additional open education resources such as related videos on YouTube channel or online videos from other teachers. For the assignments they need to do on their own, I like to encourage them to contribute to our personal learning network. Students will be divided into groups, and each group will collaboratively read the articles on textbook and complete exercises. Same pattern also works for listening materials. Because my audience are intermediate level English learners, they are not able to produce too much without enough help. so I only can use our social network to enforce oral interactions among students. After the group work, they would produce one group project to showcase in the synchronous meeting, where I can provide feedback. For the first synchronous meeting, besides the showcase time, I also plan to have a group discussion by putting them into breaking rooms just like what we did. In this way, students will be highly engaged. When we come to the second week, things get different based on the content. In this week, students will personally explore learning materials according to their competence. I will provide students with websites and ask them to find out related reading materials on their own. After that, I will give them some critical thinking problems such as, if you were the author of the article, how could you make it better? Students can show their comprehension of the article through transmediating to graphic form. Although students in my class are evaluated as intermediate learners, they all have different proficiency levels. This extensive reading assignment focuses on their personal learning pace, which could not be achieved in a face-to-face class. And I can also provide personal feedback regarding their different learning competence. Since we have an eye on language use in this week, I would fully rely on online video to bring real life to students. I found the BBC YouTube channel has tons of practical videos showing how people communicate in different situations. It could not be better if my students can learn from that. Video makes my class authentic. As for the writing assignment, I will randomly pair them up for peer review. As a conclusion of this module, the second synchronous meeting is more like a free sharing about what they've learned in this module, and I will give a conclusion of these 2 weeks. Then, during the Q&A time, students can ask any questions they want. This is how and why I would design my online language course. As I have mentioned many times in my blog post, second language teaching requires lots of timely interactions. So I'm not sure whether it is suitable for an online version. Anyway, I gave it a try based on what I've learned in our course. Hopefully it makes sense. Thank you for watching, and I really enjoy learning with you guys. Thank you.